mixing, fixing for another big game. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Set. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike.
No gain on this defense. No gain.
Mike.
On first down, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
Here's Watson. He's letting this one into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And now running right through it. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, so if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
On 2nd down, Johnson.
No time now.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Check right 54. Line 54.
Watson now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, it's not been their bread and butter. I don't know, is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They were victorious over the Chargers last week, and now they work with a lead again here as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll drop to throw. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And that's complete to Cooks. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Here comes the boom. 19.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
On 2nd down and 4. Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Check 49. Check 49.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again is Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Watson, it's complete to Fuller. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. To the air yet again. Watson got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup. Now, this is an example.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. With a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
Offense.
So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now it's Watson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Right there on the coverage was the safety, Jesse Bates.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And Thomas has it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they won't. Get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. Nope. Guaranteed the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A big play there for the Bengals. 54 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's a give to Anderson. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Rodney Anderson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
We play to win. Let's
Deshaun Watson making his way back out. The focus of our player spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. On 1st and 10, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Bynes came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Watson on target here to Fuller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Out of the gun, Watson. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the one.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and then shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Once again, they run with Mixon. And an alley to run. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Ready. 30 base.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw now on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Heavy on the edges. Bang, 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 bang. Greystone, Travis. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Mixon. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Let's go.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Rolling to his right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Pushing tacklers aside. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Come on,
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs. They covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Now a first down throw. Watson looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. To throw is Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. A nice little juke. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 to make it the 40-yard line.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense. Still first down.
Let's go. On the double. 55, 950. 80 weapon. Ready. Check 2.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And now running right through it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go.
They would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
Watson and the Texans now down 24-17. Less than 90 seconds to go. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Now Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Now it's Watson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Here we go. 18, Gator.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable but do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense, but that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
They've gone to the fourth quarter now in Dallas, and the Cowboys have wound up winning that football game. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdown passes in the W. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. And time, a huge factor. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Line 54. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
On first down, it's Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Now Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were buoyed, Charles.